Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to work, cause my boss is a jerk, and I'm not even that paid. I need a change in my life, cause I don't feel alive, and there's nothing that makes me happy. Hold my beer for a minute, I'm about to quit my job, cash in for a ticket. I'm going on a trip and I don't plan to visit. I'm gonna stay there till I feel like I'm winning, and this is just the beginning. I need a big change, help me feel like living. I need a big swing, home runs I'm hitting, and I'll never look back, moving on till I get it all. And we all got dreams, we all want things, but what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? And do you believe you can do anything? But what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be?
All right. What is up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of Unscripted. Today, we're going to be talking about the Texas Rangers, who've been on a little bit of a losing streak here, been a little bit falling off, and in the hotly contested AL West. Joining me to talk about this team, a team that he loathes only when he's playing them, apparently, is my boy Jay McClellan. What's up, brother?
Hey, I'm excited about tonight. I'm excited about today, and for the first time, I can honestly tell Pride and I can tell Frankie that our division is more important than theirs. You want to know why I say that, Logan?
Why is that?
Because out of the top 5 teams in the AL, our division is 3 out of the 5. Only Baltimore and Toronto out of their division are in the top 5. The rest of it is Houston, Rangers, and Mariners. How great is that?
Hey, I know you're pretty happy for it, man. I know you are. Before we get started, though, Jay, a little bit of a somber note. Frankie C, your boy, not able to be with us this episode, but he did say he wants to give out his condolences to Bray Wyatt, WWE wrestler who passed away tragically, Jay, age of 36. Wyndham Rotundo is his real name, and looks like it was complications, potential heart attack. Like I said, we're not going to go super in-depth in it, but like I said, just a super sad situation. Losing him yesterday on August the 24th, and then Terry Funk also a day prior on the 23rd. So back-to-back days, 2 great minds in wrestling gone. And all of us at Unscripted and at the Elite Sports and Entertainment Network would like to give our condolences to them, their loved ones, their family, and their friends during this very tough time. And like I said, and Jay, speaking of the Elite Sports Entertainment Network, this is going to be coming down the pipeline, coming very soon. If you're interested in joining our network, like I said, we don't have a set date yet, but we are fielding applications. So if you're into music, movies, cooking, any outdoor sports, or anything that you think is a pretty cool hobby, or something that you really enjoy talking about and you're very passionate about, send us an email, send us a message on all the social platforms you see here: Facebook, X, TikTok, YouTube, and of course on Twitch as well. And we will get back to you and we can get an interview set up and see if you'd be a good fit for our upcoming network. Jay McClellan, this is the topic you want to speak about, my friend. So I'm letting you have the floor. Rangers, their lead is slipping. Go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Are the Rangers imploding? Are they slipping? I think the Rangers are suffering pretty much the same thing as what the Astros are suffering from, and it's pitching. It's all about pitching. And if you know, watching Unscripted, way back when this all first started at the very beginning of the league, Stat Guy said if the Rangers were going to be anything, it was going to be if they could get the pitching, because we all know the number 1 offense in baseball, period, point blank and none. Unfortunately, I hate to admit it, it is the Texas Rangers. They have the number 1 offense. It's just pure and simple right now. But you're only as good as your defense, which is your pitching and your fielding. And right now, the Astros and the Rangers commonly, because if I could say Rangers are slipping, I would also say the Astros are slipping. Both of these teams I'm basically speaking about. Look at it like this, man. The last couple of teams that on the 7, right now they're on a 7-game slide. The Astros are on a 2-game slide. But the Angels, they lost. Then the Brewers got swept. Arizona got swept. Twins, they lost that game. So that's, 6-7 games right there. Arizona, they should have really beaten Arizona. The Brewers, that's a very competitive team. I felt like they should not have been swept by the Brewers, but they should have at least won one game out of that at the very least. But again, the Rangers suffer from what the Astros suffer from, which is the back end of the starting rotation and the bullpen to a certain degree. I will tell you right now, the back end of their starting rotation is Gray and Henne, and Gray is sporting a 3.76 ERA with a 1.23 whip, and Henne is sporting a 4.34 ERA, a 1.36 whip. And if you look at the Astros side of life, then you would be talking about Javier right now is struggling, and so is who's the back end of that? Brown. That's what I was thinking of. Brown is struggling. JP had a rough night last night. We all know how that went. But for the most part, for us, it's Brown and Javier that's struggling in our rotation. When you look at the ERA of the Rangers, they started out the season at the low threes. You know where they are right now? 4.07. Let me say it again. 4.07. That's the reason why they're sliding. Because if you look at their offense has a batting average of 269. It ain't the offense that's the issue. It's the defense and the pitching specifically. Aroldis Chapman is doing well, but 3 out of the 4 in the bullpen have an ERA above 3.50. The back end of their rotation starting has an ERA above 3.75. That's why they're struggling. The other reason why they're struggling, clearly, is pitching depth or the lack thereof pitching depth. So when you got a team that, number one, doesn't have a lot of depth, has suffered injuries, has a high ERA, do you really expect them not to slip? And that's the same thing for the Astros, okay? We have a great bullpen. Our bullpen isn't the issue. It's our starting pitching that right now, unfortunately, is our issue. We've given up several times more runs in the first 3 innings than we could overcome. Same thing with the Rangers. If you look at the Rangers, they lost a 6-2, a 6-1, a 5-1. They're giving up a lot of runs early. And that's the problem why they're sliding. So if you want to know why the Rangers are slipping, it's specifically their pitching that's slipping, not anything else. Same thing with the Astros, truthfully. And right now, Seattle right now they're poised to take the number 1 spot. It is what it is, man. That's the state.
Yeah. Well,
by the way, also helps them is Evaldi. Evaldi's also on the IL right now, which is their best pitcher. Okay.
That is a good point, Jay. And like I said, this is the closest race right now in baseball. Other than that, it's the NL Central, with the Brewers and Cubs and Reds battling it out. Those are the 3 teams there. The Cubs are 3 games out, and the Reds are 4 games out. So it is close. Don't get it twisted. It is a close race. But when you look at the AL West, its current standings right now, the Rangers are up top by 1 game. The Mariners and the Astros 1 game behind. So, it's a tight race. It is a very tight race. And, for the Angels and for the Athletics, the other teams in the division, at this point, they're hoping to play spoiler for one of those 3 teams. So, like you said, Jay, that is you're looking up. And don't forget, the teams down below you, they're trying to get some wins also and screw up plans for the postseason for all 3 of the teams, the Astros, the Rangers, and the Mariners. So we'll see how this shakes out. Baseball ending in just a few more weeks with football right around the corner, of course. And with football, of course, Jay, as you know, our fantasy football league we just drafted last week. And man, I feel good about our teams this year, man. We shortened the teams in terms of league. So we had 20 in 2023 or 2022. This year in 23, we only got 12. So if a guy gets hurt or if a guy's struggling, it's going to be a lot easier for us. to go and replace said member of our team. But yeah, man, it's going to be a fun season. If you want to hear all the updates about our league, as well as any other episode, check us out on all of our social media platforms. Once again, Facebook, X, TikTok, YouTube, and on Twitch as well. We appreciate you coming out and watching this episode, talking about the Texas Rangers and their slide. Of course, my boy, Jay McLovin, appreciate you coming on as always, my friend, talking about this team and how they've been slipping. You're the expert on this team in terms of just your division rival. So it's good to get some knowledge right there. I've been your host and producer tonight, Logan Landers. Enjoy the rest of your night. Enjoy your weekend. Whichever day you're watching this, everyone. And we'll talk to you again on another episode of Unscripted. We'll see you then.